Subnautica 2 currently has 20 different resources, and we all know there's nothing more annoying than not being able to find that one thing you actually want. So today, we're going to take a look at where to find every single one, including spots for the early game, stuff you can mine without a sonic resonator, and of course, options for late game mass production. Make sure to check the timestamps if you're looking for something specific, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting out with titanium, it'd probably be quicker to list all the places you can't get it. For the early game, you can find this stuff scattered literally everywhere around the coral gardens, and the caves beneath the biome are also a pretty darn good source. Heading a bit southwest, you can find some larger outcrops in the dolerite spires, but if you're really looking to get the stuff, head over to the needler nests by the Altera base and start looking inside the giant towers, because a couple of these things legitimately have enough titanium to carry you through the entire game. Quartz is amazing for glass, and there's also quite a few places you can get it. Early on, the best spot is definitely inside of these hollowed out coral domes, where you can get loads of pieces without even needing a resonator. Like with the titanium, you can find larger chunks pretty close by in the dolerite spires, but the best place to get them is easily the plains in the Karakoram region, aka the big flat sandy area east of the needler nests. Copper is a bit unique in that it doesn't seem to have one place where it's super common, but it compensates for this by being able to be found pretty much everywhere. For the early game, I'd definitely recommend the large cave network underneath the coral gardens, and the vertical cliff face leading down to the dolerite spires is even better once you get a sonic resonator. But honestly, look around any biome for more than a couple minutes and you'll probably be able to get all of the copper you need. Silver's the first big material stepping stone you'll need to cross, since it effectively gatekeeps a bunch of other resources through the sonic resonator. This makes hand-mineable silver fetch quite the premium in the early game, and luckily the caves beneath the Jelly Plateau should have more than enough to keep you covered. Larger nodes can be found intermediately throughout the dolerite spires, but by far the best spot to get them is the needler nests. Simply look for the white glow of these cabbage shoot roots, and you'll quickly find yourself with all of the silver you could ever possibly need. While not nearly as useful as it was in Subnautica 1, lithium is still a critical component of the plasteel ingot, which does have a couple of important recipes. To get it, you can head southeast to the Great Jaw and mine up its lithium pearls. Just be careful not to trigger any of the red tendrils, and if you do, just get out as quickly as you can. If you've managed to get the heat adaptation, you can also head to the caves beneath the graveyard biome and mine up some nodes there. Lead doesn't have many uses yet, only really being needed to make the sonic resonator, since its other recipe, germanium, can also be made with silver, but to get it, you're going to want to head to the caves and trenches in the northern coral gardens. And the needler nest caves also have a lot should you happen to need more later on. Sulfur is the first material that I can definitively say got an upgrade in Subnautica 2, being used in a surprisingly high 6 recipes. Let's just ignore the fact that 5 of them can be made with a plant that's way easier to get. If you want it though, sulfur is found where it's hot. You can find both small and large nodes around the edge of the graveyard, allowing you a short window to duck in and grab some before getting burned alive. There's a few small nodes out by the white crab shells, and if you're ever in the needler nests and see these glowing thermal caves, you can also get plenty from them. Gold wins the two-man competition for useful yellow ores, and you can find it in pretty much all the same places you found sulfur. The stuff isn't as common around the edge of the graveyard, so I wouldn't rely on being able to get it before the heat adaptation, but if you check around the northern edge of the biome, you can occasionally get lucky. Once you do get the adaptation, bigger nodes are easily sourced from graveyard rock formations, the graveyard caves, and of course you can still find it later on in the needler nests. While not mandatory for beating the game, salt is all but required in high-end food preparation. You can find larger nodes around the edge of the graveyard, smaller pieces stuck to the white crab shells, and you can also find some scattered around the needler nests. Celestine's the first of what I would consider the higher-end ores, being a key component of the modification station and the tadpole depth module. Luckily, the stuff's ridiculously easy to get, being found throughout the needler nests. It does seem to be a bit patchy in its spawning, in that you can go a little while without seeing any and then find a lot close together, but that might just be my imagination. Creature enamel's a bit deceiving, since unlike what the name suggests, you don't actually get it from a creature. Rather, you mine it from these interesting looking rocks, which should at least make the stuff pretty hard to miss once you know what you're looking for. To get it, you're going to want to check out the towers and the needler nests, and even though most of it is deeper down, you can still find plenty of enamel above your tadpole's 250 meter depth limit. Atacamite's pretty easy to get. Just head out to the flat, sandy Karakoram plains, look for the small, greenish-gray crystal, and mine it up to your heart's content. Conduit crystals are another big progression stepping stone, and like your first bits of silver, these can also be kinda difficult to find. They tend to spawn in the sandy cliffs and plains surrounding the Karakoram power plant, although I have found nodes quite far away by just following the large roots. There isn't really one place I can point to that has an exceptionally high amount of crystals, but considering their large size and reflectivity, they're actually pretty easy to spot from a distance, so it kinda balances everything out. Triolite's another misnomer in that it isn't found from Triolite itself, but rather large deposits of mineralized clinker. To get it, head east, following the northern edge of the map until you reach the Karakoram metal farms. Look for the greenish rocks along the flat steps of the mine and you'll be good to go. Axum bacterial culture is probably the last thing you're gonna get, and at the moment its only use is making metal farms. This is fine though, since the stuff's pretty rare, only being found in these little cage thingies at the bottom of the Karakoram metal farms, so make sure not to waste it. Moving on to the plants, because a few of them are actually useful, the Lucifer Rotsacs can be found pretty much anywhere in the Coral Gardens, but you can get a few of them over by the Welcome Center, and there's even more due southwest of the Life Pod. Similarly, acidic raions are extremely abundant all around the Coral Gardens, especially down in the caves, including one directly beneath the Life Pod itself, and these will let you get a hold of acidic medical pouches and medical gel sacks. Fiberous Pulp has two harvesting options. You can make it from the same cradle shoot roots where you find the Lucifer Rotsacs, but probably the easiest way is to just cut the red feather kelp in the caves of the Coral Gardens. Cherimoya Rotsacs can be found on the tops of the plateaus in the Jelly Plateaus biome by just looking for their bright green glow, and these can be eaten raw or turned into Cherimoya chutney. Finally, if you don't have the gold or silver to make strong acid, you can also make some with 2 Necrolei Cysts, which you can harvest from these stilt orbs in the Necrolei Hills, and there's a large clump of them near due northwest of the Life Pod. Consider subscribing if you found this video helpful, let me know if there's any cool resource spots you think I might have missed, and make sure to stay tuned. I've got a Subnautica 2 base building guide and a challenge video for Subnautica 1 coming out very soon. Anyway, that's all from me for now, have a great day, and I hope to see you all again very soon.